Hello, Grapperinos, and welcome to another exciting episode of Probably Next Week on Smackdown. I'm Bryon, and I'm once again joined by Kit Wilson defender, Mike. Say hi, Mike.
I don't know. I'm not a Kit Wilson defender.
I don't know, man.
I
You
I,
like Kit
I, I just
Wilson's
thought
entrance
they're
last week.
I just thought they're oh yeah, the Jumbotron. I thought it was pretty creative. I mean, it probably was generated with AI, but I thought it was pretty creative, honestly.
Really?
Had a nice art style to it. Yeah, it was something different than the generic, like, you know, Braun Breaker-esque entrance where it's just a name in a weird font with a background,
Yeah.
you know. So I thought it was all right.
All right, fair enough. I was just saying that because I texted you when Kit Wilson's entrance was happening, and and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then you said Kino, so I assumed you really enjoyed that entrance with the way Kit Wilson strutted to the stage while the music played and called you toxic, just like he called everyone in that stadium toxic, I guess.
Yeah, this is his gimmick. I think it's interesting. I don't know how far it'll go in this day and age, but
Is
let's
is
see how
he
far it goes.
will he be the new golden jobber? Will he be the golden jobber of 2026? We shall see. But he is one of the new folks introduced. Well, not introduced, but he was on last week's SmackDown, and a couple new people were introduced on that episode of SmackDown as well. And we are basically booking on the show, as always, the episode from that, what we think will happen, and how we will book it. And we do it according to these rules. And after that, we watch the actual next episode of SmackDown as it happens, and we will score our predictions and bookings based on this scoring system. And then we will come back here and tell you what we got for our points and do it all over again. That is the show. So, I think this may be like the first time that we got equal amount of points, but I got 5 points, you got 5 points. And I think it was probably because of the influx of the new people that we didn't account for. So I got 5 points for Cody and Drew appearing, as well as the 8 woman tag match, Carmelo and I think Julia winning their respective matches. So 5 points for that. And yeah, what about you, Mike? I think you got 5 points as well.
I got 5 points as well. Yes, I got points really from the U.S. title. I predicted both competitors correctly, and just Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre facing off. I kind of based the whole show around Obafemi, or the first half of the show around Obafemi, and he didn't show up because that person was Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, sure.
It was
I
kind of
guess
surprising.
he's
Yeah.
back officially now, so
Yeah.
whatever.
It's surprising to see Matt Cardona back, but here we are in 2026. He's back, along with others. So, yeah, it's going to be one hell of a ride as we head into Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Let's keep that in mind. What is announced for the next episode? Well, we got Cody Rhodes. We got Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. In a 3 stages of hell match, we have Wyatt Sicks versus MFT, My Fungible Tokens, in an 8 man tag team match. And then we have Ray Phoenix and Trick Williams. Why am I flubbering today? But Trick Williams and Ray Phoenix are squaring in the ring as one of the matches. So, without further ado, let's book this thing. Get to my version of the show first. As Randy Orton walks to the ring, he was the first kind of guy to have his segment last week with The Miz. But I'm going to have Randy Orton come out once again. First, he talks about his return last week. He reaffirms that he returned from Mr. Beastland in Saudi Arabia, by the way, to go for the WWE Championship. He also says he's looking forward to the match between Cody and Drew later tonight. Wants to congratulate the winner after the match, let him know that he is coming for that title. He is then interrupted by everyone's favorite man? Question mark? Kit Wilson. Yes, I will incorporate Kit Wilson from now on, just to make the people happy, I suppose. Kit Wilson comes out. He says that Randy Orton is the personification of toxic masculinity. He says that the people love him, which makes the people also toxic. He says that he will make an example of Randy, and he continues to run him down as he heads into the ring. But he then gets RKO'd as soon as he gets in the ring. I know this is kind of a waste of Randy Orton's prestige, but I think this should be setting up two things. One, I think Kate Wilson, I think they have bigger things in mind for Kate Wilson. Like, you can't just have a nice Titantron and not do anything with Kate Wilson. I think they have something in mind for Kate Wilson. So, I think that putting him in this segment with Randy Orton should help him out, kind of raise his star power a bit, maybe make him look more like a superstar, kind of more in league with Randy Orton. The second thing is to reaffirm Randy Orton's return and why he is returning. He's returning for the championship, and obviously that will be the hook for tonight. Just, will Randy Orton go up against Cody, or will he go up against Drew? We'll find out as we, go through the show. We move on to Rey Fenix versus Trick Williams. I'm going to have, as much as I want Trick Williams to win, I think that Rey Fenix wins because of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn distracts Trick Williams and costs him the match. And then after the match, Sami Zayn beats up Trick Williams, but Trick makes a comeback when he slams Sami through a table. I think this leads to Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn, either at the Go Home show or the Royal Rumble itself. It's going to be kind of like a mid-card feud to get Trick Williams out there, get him acquainted, and just basically have him kind of get some experience a bit on SmackDown. So, there you go. We'll move on to Carmelo Hayes as he takes on The Miz for the US Championship. It's a weird match that I decided on, but I think this happens because of a backstage segment that happened last week. Basically, Carmelo told The Miz that his life is better without him because he is now the US Champion, and The Miz, being The Miz, he wants to rage against the people, and basically decides to challenge Carmelo Hayes to a match, and this is what happens. So, Carmelo Hayes wins, and then after the match, we are going to have Aleister Black come out to challenge Carmelo Hayes for the championship. However, he is then attacked by the newest superstar in SmackDown, the newest wrestler, one and only Matt Cardona. And that leads to a match between Matt Cardona and Aleister Black. Maybe a mini feud. Maybe. As we head into the Royal Rumble, I think they're going to try to get some mini feuds going between the guys, so that in the Royal Rumble, they can sort of develop that, or at least progress some of the feuds, the mini feuds that are happening on both Raw and SmackDown. And I think this is one of them. So, there you go. Julia comes out with Kiana James to talk about her win last week. Yes, she is now the US champion again. Don't ask. Says it brought balance to the women's division, specifically the women's US division, and showed that she will be a better champion than Chelsea Green. Oh, man. Wait until Road Dogg forgets that she exists for like the sixth time and decides to not have her have the championship, or show up at least in the show for like 6 months again. I swear to God, Road Dogg, if you forget. Anyway, he is then interrupted by Chelsea Green, who is with Alba Fire, who says that the win was a fluke and she deserves a rematch. However, she is then interrupted by a brand new signer. I'll just say wrestler. She's interrupted by a brand new wrestler that is signed to SmackDown. By the way, I didn't even notice this, but apparently during commercial break, Javon Evans signed with Raw, which I was not aware of until after the show was over. So yeah, did you know Javon Evans was signed to Raw during commercial fucking break? I didn't. I had no idea. So I assume they'll do the same thing to Sol Ruca. She gets signed to SmackDown during commercial freaking break. And then says that she's here to get the championship from Julia. Kelsey rages at her as a result, and Alba goes to beat up Sol, which sets up their match on the episode after this. I think this may head into a mini feud with Chelsea and Sol Ruca, and it should be a decent feud for Sol to get her sort of wrestling cred on and get the people to cheer her. And I think she'll be a great addition to the SmackDown roster, for sure. Moving on, the My Fungible Tokens take on the Wyatt Sicks in an 8-man tag team match. I wish this feud is over, because I think the MFT win by pinfall. Sorry. I just think the MFTs win here. I think this will equalize the feud. I think the Wyatt Sicks won last time, so 50-50 booking. MFT wins. And I think I will agree with Mike. I think this may lead to a tornado tag team match on the Go Home show or the Rumble for the tag team championships between the MFT and the Wyatt Sicks. And yeah, that will be the sort of end of that feud between the MFT and the Wyatt Sicks. And they can move on to other things besides feuding with each other, because God knows this feud has taken too long to resolve, I guess. Jade Cargill takes on Jordan Grace next. Jordan Grace wins because of intervention from Michin. Remember, Jade Cargill is still feuding with the two jobbers named Michin and BFAB. So there you go. After the match, we have Michin taking out Jade with a kendo stick because obviously they're still having a feud. However, Jordan Grace pushes Michin to the side because, you know, Jade Cargill is for Jordan only, alright? Jordan had a match against Jade, not Michin, so get the hell out of her way. But Michin pushes her back. I think this leads to Jordan versus Michin on the next episode. And then we might head into a triple threat between the three at the Royal Rumble or the Go Home show, leaning more towards the Royal Rumble because I think they want to feature Jade Cargill on the show. And yeah, I think that is where they're going with this, I think. So there you go. Main event, as Randy Orton watches Cody Rhodes take on Drew McIntyre in a 3 stages of hell match. I am going to have Drew McIntyre win by pinfall. And after the match, Randy Orton, after he watches the whole thing unfold, he comes out to stare at Drew, renewing their rivalry from last year. Drew smiles while he holds the title as the show goes off the air. I think we are going towards Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. I think it should be a decent match. I think that the people want it, and Cody can, I don't know, go back to the chase again. I guess. Although, I'm not sure if Cody wins the chase this time. I think it's more reserved for other folks, but we shall see. I don't know where they're going with Cody. I think they want to still have him be in the title picture, but I think they still want to have him float around Randy and Drew. And maybe get it into a triple threat match at WrestleMania. So, there you go. Any questions?
So you think Drew's going to win this one?
Yes, sir. He has to. He has to win.
I know he kind of has to at this point because it's like if he loses this, he looks like an absolute idiot, in my opinion. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I after the CM Punk versus Braun Breaker thing, I was thinking maybe they might give it to Cody again, go the safe route. But this is Road Dogg, and Road Dogg, I think Road Dogg is different than your boy Triple H. I think that he is one to help out the youngsters. Okay, even though he held Julia off for like 6 months and forgot that she existed. I think that it's time to be strange and actually just give it to Drew and just start the road to WrestleMania with a nice big swerve. I guess it's not even a swerve. It's just something different, something new. So I think the WrestleMania build needs this. It needs a change, especially after CM Punk winning. That was like a safe option. I think that WrestleMania needs something explosive, and I think this is it. So
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think Cody's had it long enough, and it needs to switch because you had CM Punk win a Monday night. So I think having a heel champion on SmackDown makes a whole lot of sense.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Any other questions before we move on to your card?
Nope, I'm ready for my card.
Okay, let's move on to your card. Starting off with
We have a Cody Rhodes promo. Cody Rhodes comes out, puts over his match for tonight, says he's going to win, and he is interrupted by Randall Keith Orton, fresh off of his return from Mr. Beastland in Saudi Arabia. And he says that no matter who wins, he's coming after the belt next, and he wishes Cody good luck in his match tonight. And that is be the last we see of Cody Rhodes until the fight, and then he goes off for a couple months to, I don't know, do something else, whatever. Film more Wheatley commercials, I guess. I don't know.
Street Fighter movie.
Street Fighter, yeah, probably.
I was just gonna say, imagine if Randy Orton has a match at WrestleMania and Mr. Beast is his manager. That would
If
be
if
fun.
Mr. Beast gets involved in any way, in any angle, I probably might just start watching AEW. I know I say that a lot for things, but like I legitimately might just start watching AEW at that point. at least they have Big Boom AJ. Okay, that's
Oh, I
that's a
don't
plus in
know
my
about
book.
that, man. They haven't used Big Boom AJ in a while yet. Oh well.
Isn't he on the pre-shows?
Not for the most recent one, I think. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with Big Boom AJ, but yeah, I think Mr. Beast is going to not. It reminds me of like that recent video where people like celebrities try to pitch WrestleMania stuff to Triple H, and all the comments were like, "You know what? You should book Triple H a better freaking show." So yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to me that Randy Orton would involve himself with Mr. Beast, but whatever. We'll move on then to
The MFTs versus the Wyatt Sicks. This is a non-title match for some reason, probably to get the waters warm for an eventual tornado tag team match between these two groups. The MFTs, the Wyatt Sicks won last time. I think the Wyatt Sicks win this one via disqualification. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can you have a disqualification in an 8-man tag match? I think you can, right? Because it's not a no DQ like a tornado tag team. It's a legitimate like 8-way tag team match, right?
it is a multi-man match, so there you could. It's a no DQ match. Yeah, if
Okay.
it's a multi-man
Great.
match.
Great. This booking makes no sense then.
Yeah.
because traditionally what you would do is you build up, you know, the tension between these two groups, giving them different types of matches, and eventually you do a blow off, which is a no DQ match where everybody gets to fight everybody. But you're going to do this on an episode of SmackDown with not even the title on the line. So I
don't know. I don't know what Road Dogg's doing
okay.
with this
All
one.
right. I'm going to agree with you then. I'm going to say the MFTs actually win this one then, because I didn't realize that this was a no DQ match as well. So
I mean, there could be a brawl after the match is over, and then Nick Aldis is like, you know what, you guys fucking go into a match at the Royal Rumble, but this
okay,
time,
Mr. Aldis, but brother, you just booked this match for tonight. What would change other than the title being on the line? Christ,
I don't know.
This when I saw this, I was like, this has to be like there has to be rules to this. This cannot be no DQ. There's no way they would do a non-title fight between these two groups for no DQ. That would not work. But apparently that's true, and this is fucking stupid.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I guess it's because, like, every week the MFTs either have a promo segment or the Wyatt Sicks, so they're like, okay, we gotta have some matches somehow. So, but you could have just had like one member go against another member and then escalate that to a 2v2, right? Instead of just having 8-man tag team match. It's just like, it makes no sense. So I don't know, man. But yeah, I wish this is over. And yeah, whatever. This is just way too long. Anyway, we'll move on to
we have Trick Williams versus Rey Fenix. This is Trick Williams' debut match on SmackDown. I think he wins this one pretty handedly. However, I think that Rey Fenix is saved from a post-match beatdown by Sami Zayn. This was due to Trick interrupting Sami's promo last week. And I think this sets up for a mini feud going into the Rumble, possibly between Trick and Sami Zayn, to build Sami up for the eventual Royal Rumble win in Saudi Arabia. I was trying to think of a joke, but I couldn't think of one in time. His Allah given victory at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so you think Sami wins?
Wallahi, inshallah, he will win the Rumble.
Do you think so you think Sami is going to win against Trick if this feud were to happen? Or I guess it is happening.
Yeah. I think he would win, and then he would go on to win the Rumble. Yeah.
Okay. And then maybe we'll have Sami versus CM. No, not CM Punk.
Drew, probably.
Yeah, Sami versus Drew.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I think none of them are old, so I think we're good. Moving on to...
We have a Julia promo with Kiana James. Julia comes out and basically puts herself over as the U.S. title champion again. I don't know what the idea was of giving it back to Chelsea. Maybe they needed time to figure out how to actually make her a champion. Maybe Road Dogg remembered that he did have Julia on the roster again and was like, wait, wasn't she the champion? And then booked her as a champion, and they forgot that she didn't have the belt anymore. I don't know. It was weird, but whatever. I think that Julia comes out, and then she is interrupted by Chelsea Green with the Secret Service. It's not even the Secret Service anymore. It's just Alba Fire at this point.
It's just Alba Fire, yeah.
By Chelsea Green with Alba Fire, saying she wants her title back. But then they are all interrupted by a debuting Jordine. How do you pronounce this name? It's
Jordan.
weird.
It's Jordan.
Jordan. Jeez. This is
the
like
country.
I watch the NBA. I watch the NBA a lot, and there's a lot of people named Jalen, but there's like 10 different spellings of Jalen. There's like
Oh, really?
JAYLMJELJALEN, like JALINN. It's like, man, can we like agree on a common spelling, please? So she is interrupted by a debuting Jordan Grace, who comes out and says that she just signed to SmackDown and she wants a shot at the title, and this leads into a match next, which will be her debut match.
All right, we'll move to that now.
It's going to be Jordan Grace versus Alba Fire. Alba is getting into Golden. I mean, she is a jobber. I'm not even going to call her a Golden Jobber. She's just a jobber.
Yeah.
And she loses this one pretty handedly, and this will probably set up for Jordan Grace versus Chelsea Green at some point down the line. And yeah, there you go.
Okay. Where do you think Jordan goes after this? I'm guessing you're gonna have her go for the U.S. title.
Probably go for the U.S. title and lose, and then fall back into like the mid card scene, doing whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
But she'll definitely be like a mid carder, like a solid mid carder, maybe lower mid carder, like a solid mid carder.
All right. Yeah. I also do think that they might want to move her up maybe later this year. So probably like post WrestleMania. I'm guessing they're gonna start to move her up to the title picture to go up against Shade and get that thing going. But I think they're going to wait for Bianca to show up again.
No, I definitely think they're saving that main event spot for Sol Ruca.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you think she debuts then? Like maybe
Probably the Rumble.
February?
Probably the Rumble.
Okay.
I would say.
All right, fair enough. All right, we'll move on then from that to
a U.S. title open challenge. Nice picture of Matt Cardona there with the outline and the old internet champion belts.
Hold on. So before you say anything else, so I get most of these from WWE. They don't have a picture for Matt Cardona. So I'm like, what the hell do I do? So I just look up Matt Cardona, and there was this picture from his website. He has a website, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll just take this one. So yeah, WWE does not have a picture of him yet, even though he is signed to the WWE since Friday. What the hell are you guys doing over there?
We're back to WWE not caring about Matt Cardona again, even though he just signed. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Indeed.
Anyway, I think Carmelo wins this one after The Miz interferes on this match. The Miz confronted Carmelo last week. And I think The Miz interferes on this match, similar to how Tama Tonga interfered on Ilya's match against Carmelo Hayes. So Carmelo wins this one illegitimately, and then he is then attacked after the match by The Miz, and that will probably set up another match for next week as well.
For the title.
The Miz The Miz is firmly in jobber territory now. I don't know when they're going to turn him back face. He just seems to be, I'm not going to say he's in Big Show territory because they're not turning him face or heel depending on whatever they need for that night. I think he's sort of like a medium tier jobber that they throw at someone when they need to like get over easily. So, which I think he's fine with. He made a lot of money in his career, so I think he's okay just doing the JOB for a while.
Yeah,
but I think they'll eventually turn him back face at some point.
I think, yeah. He's definitely in the sort of like, I don't know, would you even... No, because Randy Orton is still in that sort of... You could put him in the main event still. I think The Miz is more in the sort of like, what else can he do in the company? And I think they're just trying to just put him into let's make him work with the newcomers, the youngsters, to build them up as a sort of
Yes.
enhancement talent.
So a jobber then, yes. That's that is the nice name for jobbers, enhancement talent.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, I think they think that the Miz is just, he doesn't have a lot more to do with the company at the point. Like, he's held championships, he's done a lot of things for the company, so if he is a lifer, if he wants to be loyal to the company, might as well give him the sort of that spot to, as you say, job out to people like Carmelo Hayes or any other youngsters, right? So, okay. So you're saying that Carmelo. Okay, I already said that. Carmelo goes over.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you think is next? Do you think they're going to go back to Tamatonga with the US Championship?
Probably the Miz, and then maybe Tamatonga. I think Tamatonga might break off from the MFTs at some point because he had a conversation with Shinsuke backstage last episode in Japanese. I didn't know he spoke Japanese, but apparently he does.
Yeah, because so far all the two words he was able to speak are shish and yeah 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 yeah. So I mean, he was speaking Japanese. That's a revelation right there. But yeah, I don't. I think they're going toward the Shinsuke, Nakamura, and Tamatonga teaming up, which is just like, again, another waste of Shinsuke, but whatever. I don't know what they're doing with him at this point. You might as well waste him with another tag team, but yeah. Okay, that makes sense that Tama would go to that before legitimizing the tag team stuff with Shinsuke, I guess. Alright, we'll move on then to
Nia Jax promo. She comes out with Lash Legend, and she declares themselves the number one contenders for the women's tag team titles. This is spawned because last week there was a backstage segment where Rhea and Io were discussing potential competitors for the tag team titles. So this happens, and they are interrupted by Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, both of whom argue with this number one contendership spot, and this results in a match being booked for Raw the following Monday, because this women's tag team division doesn't need to care about the brand split. That doesn't obey by the rules. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I do agree that Nia Jax and Lash Legend are next. So, okay, you're saying that Charlotte and Alexa will have a match against Nia Jax and Lash Legend on Raw. Okay. And I'm guessing Nia and Lash go over here on Raw if it is booked.
yes, yep. I think they do.
Okay. Do you think Nia Jax and Lash Legend get the title from Rhea and Io? Do you think that will happen?
Probably not.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anyway, that's all we got. Moving on to the last thing, the main event.
The main event, Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes in a 3 stages of hell match for the WWE Championship. I think Drew has to win this one. After all of the nonsense you've put Drew through, after all the times he's been a jobber to Cody Rhodes, I think he has to win this one. Otherwise, he enters the dreaded golden jobber territory, which you can't afford to have yet another golden jobber in the main event scene of your company. I think Cody, at this point, has run out of people to really feud against. If Drew loses, I mean, there aren't really any big heels running around on SmackDown anymore. Roman Reigns is off filming Street Fighter. And Brock Lesnar is more of an occasional part-timer. The Vision are too busy dealing with on Raw, and CM Punk and all that nonsense, right? And I just feel that Drew needs to win this one. That'll give you an even balance of a face champion on Raw and a heel champion on SmackDown. And there you go. And that pairs it up nicely for Randy Orton to go after Drew McIntyre after this is done. So
Yeah.
I can totally see them keeping this on Cody Rhodes because this is how this company goes. But I would like to think that all of the evidence here is pointing towards a Drew McIntyre win. Just because at this point, if he loses, it would be utterly disastrous for his career. Not career, but sort of his prospects at ever winning this championship. Because, like he had his run against CM Punk and failed, and then he had his run against Cody and failed, and then had another run against Cody. At this point, getting to a fucking 3 stages of hell match, and it's like, how much more can you have this guy job out to the point where people just don't actually care about him anymore? So
Yeah.
I just think that even though I do believe that there is a high chance, I would say it's 50-50 at this point, that Cody wins this one. I just think that from a creative perspective, maybe you can call this fantasy booking if you want to, but I just believe that it would be so utterly stupid for Drew to lose this one that I think Drew wins this one just because of how stupid it would be if he lost and where they would have to put themselves creatively if he did lose this one.
Yeah, I think that Braun losing, okay, fine. At least I guess Braun can probably try to get CM Punk's title again with the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber and all that. At least Braun still has like the vision to, piggyback off of. Drew really doesn't have much to piggyback off of, and I think if he loses, he is going to lose that sort of luster. All of what he did on that segment, on that last episode, when he faced off against Cody, that would mean absolutely nothing if he loses, which is just like whatever. But I do agree with you that there might be a percentage of a chance that Cody might win and retain because of what they did with CM Punk and Braun Breaker, which is what I said earlier. Hopefully, I think they make the right decision. Hopefully, and give it to Drew. Otherwise, I guess Drew McIntyre is the Golden Jobber of the Year? Question mark?
He will be a strong contender for Golden Jobber of the Year if he does lose this match.
Yeah. Maybe Braun can be up there too. We'll see. But yeah, it would be a shame. It would be a shame if Drew loses. But anyway, that's what we got for the next episode of SmackDown. As I said earlier, we are going to watch the next episode of SmackDown, and then we will score our predictions and bookings based on that scoring system that we introduced earlier. And then we will go back here and tell you what we got and do this whole thing again in perpetuity. So, until then, thank you for ordering a blue cheese pizza called Probably Next Week on SmackDown from Grapperinos. And remember, if you're down for some fresh, oven-baked, crispy wrestling content, stop on by Grapperinos and order yourself some content you can grapple with. See you next time, Grapperinos.